the last time I will see land for probably about 2 weeks. There's no turning back now. There's BC ferries. We left Port Hardy about 2 hours ago, and we're heading down the Golitas Channel right now. The piece of land to our west is still Vancouver Island, the far northern end of Vancouver Island, and over to our east is Nagai Island, and we are about to reach Hope Island. So after the Golitas Channel that we're currently in, we'll be right out in the Pacific. There's one area where the depth changes very dramatically, very suddenly. It's like a huge wall. It's called the Nawiti Bar, and apparently it can be very dangerous depending on the direction of the tide and the wind. It can create vertical waves. Apparently the direction of the current or the tide right now is in our favor, so I'm not sure if it'll be that bad, but it'll be interesting all the same. And that boat behind us is I guess what they would call a buddy boat, a guy that Mike knows is going to be fishing in the same area as us. That gap between those two islands there is the gap between Nagai Island and Hope Island. So this one here to the, I guess, north or west of that gap, this is Hope Island. At the end there is open Pacific. This is what the wall looks like at Nawiti Bar. This is the surface, this is the depth, and this is progress over time. And so the depth just went way up to here in a matter of a couple of minutes. And look at that, we're 6 fathoms deep now. Just like that.
Water that's being pushed from equatorial, right?
Yeah.
So we can be underwater 1,000 fathoms.
I haven't checked in a bit. I've basically been seasick the entire time that we have been out to open sea. I threw up more than 20 times yesterday and several times today, but now for a few hours I've been feeling okay. We fished all day, so this is our setup. We've just got these lines. There are 11 of them hanging off the back of the boat, and there's hooks on the end of them, and you catch your tuna and you pull them in here, and then you kill them, and then you put them in the tub to bleed out, and then the next tub, and then eventually they go into the freezer. So I'm feeling okay right now. It looks like we're done fishing for the day. We're gonna eat. I feel the best I've felt since we've been out to sea. Maybe my body's getting used to the motion, the constant waves and all that. So I'm gonna try to eat something. I haven't been able to stomach anything since we've been out here. And then I'm gonna go to bed as soon as possible, because we'll be right back in Adam at first light tomorrow. Well, it's already day 4 of fishing, day 5 out in the open ocean. I've gotten the hang of things. I feel pretty good. I haven't been sick in the past 3 days. Only those first 2 days I was sick the whole time. I'm in the routine. We just start fishing basically as soon as it gets light. So right about now, Mike's just organizing the fish in the freezer down below. And then we'll fish from light until dark. And then I'll eat something and go right to sleep. That's the routine basically. Been sleeping pretty well. The bed's comfortable, and when the boat's not moving, it doesn't rock too much. It rocks constantly, but not so bad. So one thing that I was a little bit surprised about at first is that a lot of fishermen will share how many fish they've caught over the radio here. So Mike is part of a group of of basically fishing boats. There's a lot of them in the group, like 30 or something, and they'll tell each other exactly their location and tell each other how many fish they caught and how much time and everything like that to try to help out the others, which is very different from on Grand Manan, the lobster industry. People are very secretive about how much they catch and where they catch them. That is a 30-some pounder?
It's about 20s.
20s? Nice. Couple big ones. That's a big one. Looks right heavy. Yeah.
Oh, you got one on the long one. Long boat? Yeah.
Officially heading inland now. We just had our last day of fishing. We only fished for a few hours this morning. So this was the sixth day of fishing. We caught just over 900 fish, and Mike estimates that the average weight is between 13 and 14 pounds. And we've heard from other fishermen that right now they're paying $3.50 a pound So we're just now pulling into Port Hardy. It's about 1 p.m. so it took several hours longer than expected because of strong winds that were slowing us down in the channel there. There was a storm picking up off the coast. It's supposed to blow really hard today, tomorrow, and the next day, so that's why we came in. But luckily we were able to fill our freezer, so we have basically a full load of fish that we caught in a little over 5 days, 5.5 days of actual fishing. So it was a pretty big success. So we got into the harbor here around 1 or 2 p.m. I went for a shower and did laundry up at the striker's place there, and boy do I feel like a new man. I had sea legs for the first couple hours. Felt like my balance was totally awful, even though I was on solid ground for the first time in over a week. So that was kind of cool. Now brought my stuff back to the boat. Mike has to babysit the boat because the engine is running to keep the freezer working. So because we haven't sold our fish yet, it's going to take a day or two before we can sell our fish. So he has to stay there. I'm going to walk back into town and get some food. Well, I've learned that it's going to take another 3 or 4 days before we're able to sell our load of fish, so we're going to be hanging out here in Hardy for a while. So I'm going to end this video here. I'll show you how the selling goes in the next one. Thanks for watching. See you soon.